In the last 10 seasons, no team has defined the modern NBA more than the Golden State Warriors' 4 championships, 6 finals appearances, and a style of play that reshaped basketball itself. But dynasties don't last forever. On the other side, the Minnesota Timberwolves have quietly become one of the league's most dangerous young teams, top 5 in defensive rating this year, with a roster full of athletic, hungry talent. So here's the question: can the old guard still run the show, or is this the moment the next generation takes the throne? Watch till the end, because this series might just flip everything you thought you knew. Game 1 should have been Stephen Curry's playground. Instead, it became a stress test for the entire Golden State roster. Curry exited early with a hamstring injury, 13 minutes, 13 points, then gone. Just like that, the Timberwolves had the momentum, the numbers, and the opening to take command of the series. But they blinked. And the Warriors, they pounced. Buddy Hield stepped up and dropped 24 points and pulled in 8 rebounds. His shooting gave the Warriors life exactly when they needed it. Jimmy Butler was everywhere, bulldozing through defenders, grabbing boards, finding teammates, and finishing with 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. Then there was Draymond Green, pure fire. He put up 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. But it wasn't just about numbers, it was about leadership. He barked orders, disrupted plays, and made sure the Wolves never got comfortable. The Warriors closed out Game 1 with a 99-88 win, silencing Minnesota's crowd and turning what should have been a crisis into a statement. Then there's the elephant not on the court, Stephen Curry. A left hamstring strain isn't a death sentence, but it's dangerous, especially for a player who relies on speed and shiftiness. The Warriors are calling it day to day, but the reality is no one knows yet if he'll be back by Game 3 or how effective he'll be even if he does return. This isn't the first time Curry's dealt with soft tissue problems, and they tend to linger. His absence forces the Warriors to find offense in new places. Without his gravity, the floor shrinks. Shooters get tighter coverage, passing lanes close. But if Game 1 proved anything, it's that this team can adapt. They don't have the margin for error they used to, but they've still got grit, and that might be enough. Timberwolves' offensive struggles in Game 1 Minnesota had their chance. Curry was out, the crowd was behind them, and the Warriors looked vulnerable, but instead of attacking, they stumbled. Anthony Edwards finished with 23 points and 14 rebounds, but his first half was ice cold. He looked frustrated, out of rhythm. Maybe it was Draymond getting into his head. Maybe it was the pressure of expectations. Either way, the energy wasn't there. Naz Reid gave them a lift with 19 points off the bench, and Julius Randle added 18 and 6 assists, but the offense never clicked. The Timberwolves shot a miserable 17% from beyond the arc, just 5 made threes out of 29 attempts. That's not bad luck, that's bad execution. Coach Chris Finch didn't sugarcoat it in the post-game presser. He said they looked flat, and he was right. If they want to survive this series, that has to change fast. Numbers don't lie, but they don't tell the whole truth either. What really stood out in Game 1 wasn't just the stat sheet, it was who stepped into the moment when everything could have fallen apart. With Curry out, the spotlight could have burned a hole through the Warriors' game plan. Instead, it lit a fire under Buddy Hield. He wasn't just scoring, he was commanding. Every shot he hit drained energy from the Timberwolves crowd and boosted his own bench. Then came Jimmy Butler, showing that postseason mode isn't just a meme, it's a mindset. He didn't need to drop 40. He controlled the pace, found angles nobody else saw, and played like the floor was his stage. Draymond Green didn't just fill up columns, he disrupted everything, bodying up Edwards, trash-talking with precision, anchoring the defense like it was 2016 again. On the other side, Minnesota had numbers but no rhythm. Edwards grabbed 14 rebounds and scored 23, but it felt like he was working uphill the entire time. Reid and Randle chipped in, but their buckets were quiet. That's the thing about playoff basketball, sometimes the loudest performance is the one that doesn't even need words. And in Game 1, Golden Golden State's silence said everything. Now it's all about adjustments. Golden State has to keep leaning on their depth and defense. Without Steph, they can't outrun you, but they can outthink you. Expect more touches for Butler in isolation, more cutting from Hield, and more high post playmaking from Draymond. The bench has to produce. Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga need to step into the moment and deliver energy, especially when the starters rest. Defense will be their foundation. If they can force turnovers and make Minnesota play in chaos, they've got the upper hand. For the Timberwolves, it's do or die mode. They need to play faster, get better looks from three, and most importantly, Anthony Edwards needs to lead like a star. No hesitations, no second guessing, just attack. Randall has to be more physical in the paint and less perimeter oriented, and they can't let Draymond control the tempo again. They have to disrupt him, cut off his passing lanes, push him off his spots, and make him uncomfortable. If they can do that, they can claw their way back into the series. The regular season doesn't always predict the playoffs, but it whispers clues. Golden State won 3 of 4 games against Minnesota during the season, and that matters. But playoff pressure is different. The Wolves were the higher seed. They had the momentum coming in, but they also came in with questions. Can they close? Can they handle physical play? Can they lead from the front instead of chasing from behind? So far, the answers aren't great. The Warriors? They've been here before. This is their 6th deep playoff run in a decade. They know how to weather storms and flip momentum. And right now, that experience is starting to show. The series is suddenly wide open. Before game 1, most experts leaned slightly toward Minnesota, younger legs, home court advantage, and a deeper bench. But after that first game, and with Curry's health in question, opinions are shifting. Many are now calling it a toss-up. Some analysts are backing the Warriors in 6 games, betting on Butler's leadership and Draymond's defensive IQ. Others still believe Minnesota can win in 7, especially if they start hitting shots and Curry remains out or limited. The X factor is coaching. Steve Kerr has been here before. Chris Finch is still learning on the fly. And in the playoffs, that can swing a series. So what's next? If Curry comes back by game 3 and plays like himself, the Warriors could tighten the noose and take the series in 6. If he doesn't, Minnesota still has time to reset, regroup, and come back swinging. But game 2 is critical. It's where the tone of the rest of the series will be set. Will the Warriors pull off another strategic masterclass? Or will the Timberwolves finally snap back and remind everyone why they finished higher in the standings? Let's see who really wants it more. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to comment below with your series prediction, Warriors or Timberwolves. How many games? Don't forget to like this video, share it with your NBA group chat, and hit that subscribe button. Smash the bell icon too, because this playoff story is far from over and you don't want to miss what comes next.